Welcome to the TheCopKitchen. My name's Dave Sheppy, and as the name implies, this is a kitchen and we're going to have some cops cooking in it. All the recipes that are going to be on this channel are going to be from police officers and first responders. I have about 75 to 100 to share with you. A little bit about me. I've been a police officer for 25 years. Prior to that, I was in the Coast Guard for 20 years. 7 days, 35 minutes, but who's counting? I retired from the Coast Guard, and the very next day I started as a police officer in a small town in Maine, and was there for 20 years and got promoted to lieutenant, and then was promoted to the police chief, where I was the chief for 11 years. After 20 years I retired from there. I went back to my hometown, another small town in Maine, and was on the police department there as a patrolman for 3 years. Job opportunity opened up in a neighboring town, and I took the position as a lieutenant, and that's where I've been ever since, at the Pleasant Point Police Department. I'm also a DARE officer, Drug Abuse Resistance Education, and I've been doing that for 21 years. Right now I'm doing 6 schools and loving every minute of it. I also, a lot of the recipes that you'll see are recipes, snacks that I put together for the students. Those will be coming up in future videos. So, some of the things I like to do, some of my hobbies are, I like to play my ukuleles and my banjoleles. I like to collect fountain pens. That's right, fountain pens. I can solve a Rubik's Cube. I know that's extremely important. I write in a journal almost every day. A journal, not a diary. I like to ride my motorcycle a lot, but not in the wintertime. And of course, one of my most favorite things to do is obvious. I like to cook. And that's about it. Why did that sound like an eHarmony interview thing? Okay, well, just swipe left or swipe right, whatever you got to do to get rid of it. I don't know. So, without further ado, let's get into my favorite recipe. It's the one I've probably cooked the most. I know at times I've made this recipe 2 or 3 times a week. And that is my 1 bowl banana bread recipe. The ingredients in this are so simple. All in 1 bowl. The thing that takes the longest is the time in the oven. It takes about an hour. So without further ado, we're going to do the 1 bowl banana bread. And before we do that, let me get into my cooking clothes. That's better. All right, let's get started. The ingredients. Start with 1 stick of melted butter. Calls for unsalted. I didn't have unsalted. This is salted. Won't hurt the recipe. I've made it both ways. 2 cups of flour, regular white flour. 1 cup of sugar, it's regular old white sugar. 2 large eggs. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1/4 cup of milk. I use whole milk. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Both are in here. 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I'm putting chocolate chips in this one. You don't have to put anything in it if you don't want to, but I'm putting chocolate chips in it. If you'd like, 1/2 cup of nuts. I was talking to somebody the other day. She said she puts butterscotch chips in hers, and that's another option. 1/2 cup. And of course, the main ingredient, 3 very ripe medium bananas. Now, I like to mash mine till they're pretty smooth, but if you want chunks in yours, bigger chunks, then just don't mash it as much. And also remember, when you're using chocolate chips, when you put chocolate chips in it, when you go to test it for doneness, I use a knife, but if you're using something else like a toothpick or some other type of measuring device, testing device, keep in mind that the chocolate's probably going to come out on your measuring device, testing device, and you may think that the bread is not done. If it doesn't have any raw dough on it and the batter isn't coming out, then you're probably good. You're going to cook it for an hour. We'll go over that in just a minute. You'll also need a whisk to start with, and then we're going to go from a whisk to a spatula. All right, so here comes the hard part. Not. First thing in. Butter and sugar. Boom. Done. Whisk it around. Not hard. Not hard. Just mix it around till it's all incorporated smooth. Then you add your eggs, and if you know me and you've seen what I do, I don't like to crack the eggs right into the recipe. I like to crack them separately, put them in a container like that. Check, make sure there's no eggshells. Dump it in. That's 1. And 2. No eggshells. And then we're just gonna make sure those eggs are mixed in real good. Yeah, whipping, just kind of whisking a little bit. And that's it. Now, milk. Vanilla. Might need a little bit more later. That should be enough because I put a little extra in each time. That's it. Next goes your bananas. Whisk goes around just until the bananas are incorporated into the liquid. That's it. You can get rid of your whisk. Flour, 2 cups. There's 1. There's 2. The salt and the baking soda. And now with your spatula, just fold that in. Don't mix it too hard or fast because then your bread will come out tough. So just go ahead and fold it in. What you want to do is just get all the flour mixed into the liquid, just so you don't see any more of the white of the flour. Scraping the side of the bowls and just fold it in. Takes a couple minutes. No hurry. There we go. Once that's done, this is when you'd put in the nuts, or in our case, the chocolate chips. Ooh. Yummy. Perfect. All right, so now it goes in the pan. Preparation of the pan. Loaf pan, cooking spray. Generously spray the pan. Dump your batter in the pan. Hard, right? And that's it. So one other ingredient is optional, but I like to do, is I have a friend and she makes these really cool candied pecans. And remember, the pecans, not pecans, because a pecan is what a truck driver puts under his seat on long rides. So pecans, what I do is I just put a few of them right on top just before it goes in the oven. Your oven will be set at 350 degrees and you'll put it in there, or start testing for doneness at 1 hour. I've had these, had to cook some of them for about 1 hour and 5 minutes or so for complete doneness. I don't know why, but sometimes that's what happens. So I'm just layering these candied pecans on the top. It just makes for a really good look when the bread is done. Okay, so in the oven we go. $350 for 1 hour. So I'll be back in 1 hour. We'll see how it looks. Later. Timer just went off. Let's give it a check. Ooh, it's been exactly 1 hour. And as I said, you can see the chocolate. And there's a little batter there that needs to cook. So we're going to let it go for about another 5 minutes. So I also want to say that I'm new to this YouTubing thing. I've never posted a YouTube video ever. The reason I'm starting this channel is because I cook a lot. A lot of people know I cook a lot, and some suggested, a few suggested, that maybe doing a YouTube channel would be a good idea. I thought I'd give it a shot. I am a geek. I do like photography also, so I thought that maybe this would be something I'd be interested in doing. And so far, I'm enjoying it. So again, bear with me. The quality, the content, from what I understand from doing my YouTube research, gets better as time goes on. And as with every YouTube video, at the end of them, they always say the same thing. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit that bell notification button so that when I do a new video, you'll be notified. Leave comments in the comments section. All the recipes that I do, the recipes will be listed down in the description. And if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them. My email address will be in my profile. More information about me. If you are a police officer and you want to send me a recipe, do so please. If you want to send something from your department, I'm not a patch collector, but if you want to send a patch, hat, shirt, whatever, you don't have to, but I'll make sure that I wear it as I do your recipe. Hopefully I'll do your recipe justice. Sounds like a good time to me. I'm looking forward to doing it. I'll get a little looser as we go along. Till then, stay with me. Subscribe. Thanks. So total time was 1 hour and 5 minutes. I just checked it again, and the knife came out clean. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the oven. Bring it to the cooling racks. And there it is. Golden brown. The candied pecans baked into the top of the bread makes it look really cool. So I let it cool for about 15 minutes before I turn it out of the pan, put it on a cooling rack and let it cool completely. However, you can eat it warm. There's no rule against that, and that's pretty good too. But I'll let it cool for, like I said, 15 minutes, then we'll take it out of the pan. See you then. Out of the oven, cooled for 15 minutes. I can touch the pan. Now I'm going to turn it out of the pan and let it cool completely on the cooling rack. This is the way I do it. You may do it a different way. Nice and brown on the bottom. Oh, that smells good. Up and over and done. So we'll go ahead and let that cool again for another 15 minutes, or a little less if you want to eat it a little warm. And I'll see you then. Bye. So it's cooled for an additional 15 minutes. It's still just a tad bit warm, but it's okay. We can cut into it. I don't usually eat the end piece, but the second piece I do. Ooh, smells really good. So there's that. Very moist. Now for the test. Very moist, not too sweet. The chocolate chips have melted sufficiently. And that's the one bowl banana bread. Now, another modification to this recipe is when it's done, and it's awesome when you make banana bread French toast out of it. Take a slice of the banana bread and put it in the egg mixture just like you would regular bread. Put a tad bit of cinnamon in it, I do. Maybe just 1/8 of a teaspoon, just to give it a little kick. And then cook that just like you would French toast. Put some syrup on it. Whew. You're talking a good breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's what I'm saying. Okay, until next time, please subscribe, hit the like button, put some comments down there, and we'll see you next time. Till then, be safe out there.